Today I'm going to show you my film camera collection. I've been selling a lot of my old cameras and I thought this was a good point to make this video to show you what cameras I'm shooting with. The first camera is obviously my Mamiya RZ67. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll have seen this camera. It's a medium format 6x7 camera and obviously it shoots 120 film. It's a super versatile camera. I use it for portraits, fashion, any studio stuff, anything with strobe flashes. My favorite thing about this camera is definitely the waist level finder. It's super cool to look through, it's super bright, and you can compose really nice shots with it. I actually only own two lenses for this camera. The first is the 90mm 3.5. This is a lens that was made for the RZ and it's really sharp. It's kind of like a standard lens, and I use it for almost everything. And then if I want to go a little bit wider, I have the Mamiya 65mm f4.5, which is actually for the RB67, but it works on the RZ67. This lens is also really good. It was super cheap. I think I paid around $100 for it, and it works really well for a $100 lens. Another thing I love about this camera is that you can fully break this down into all of its parts. You have the lens, obviously, the actual camera body with the mirror inside it. The waist level finder comes off, and this is the part that pops up that allows you to focus and shoot from the hip. And then you obviously have the film back. I have the 120 film back, which shoots 6x7, but you can get a bunch of different film backs, such as a 6x6 or any other aspect ratio. I also have a Polaroid back for this camera, which I forgot to film, but it's just a very simple back that takes pack film. The next camera is the Olympus 35 ED. The reason I still own this camera is because it was my first film camera and it is a rangefinder style, which is really nice. It has a built-in light meter, so it's super easy to use, and it's nice if I don't really care too much about the photos I'm taking. I bought this camera in Japan when I was there over the summer, about a year ago now, and that's when I started shooting film. I'll put some of the photos here too. Obviously these were my first ever film photos and they're not too great, but the camera looks really nice. My main 35mm film camera is the Canon A630. This is just a autofocus SLR body that I bought for like $10 at a store in New Jersey. It works with all the Canon autofocus lenses, and that's why I like it so much. It's really simple. There's minimal controls on it. You just switch your aperture, shutter speed, and it automatically detects your film's ISO, so it's super easy to use. And the fact that you can use any Canon lens on it means that you get really good images. The lens I have for it is the 40mm 2.8 pancake lens. It's a really simple lens, but it gets the job done and it takes really sharp photos. If you saw my last video, you'll have seen this camera, but this is the Polaroid 1 Step 2. This is a super cool camera. It's really cheap. It's about $100 and it's a ton of fun to use. I love the Polaroid I-type format. I think it's definitely my favorite Polaroid format, and I've had a ton of fun shooting with this. The last camera I owned, I don't even properly know the name of this camera, but it's the Minolta Big Finder. I actually found this in my grandma's attic, and it's a really cool camera for taking flash point and shoot pictures. I take it at parties or when I hang out with people, and it's just a fun, casual camera. That's it for my film camera collection. In the past I've owned a Pentax 6.7 and a Mamiya 6.45, but I've recently sold both of those because I just wasn't using them enough, and I think that every camera that I own now has its own purpose. If you want to check out more of my work, I'll leave my Instagram in the description, and make sure you subscribe because I'm doing one of these videos every single week. That's it for now. Peace.